Okay, yeah, should be live now. So, sorry about the delay. I've been pretty busy today. Had a lot of stuff to do, and now it's kind of later in the evening, so pretty tired, but still got time for some Super Mario Maker 2. So, all of these notifications. Wonder if anyone has beaten the Submerged Labyrinth yet. It does have some likes, so I am pretty interested. That was a nice number to see. And it looks like it has been cleared. Okay, this level, a lot more complicated than it looks, but, I mean, not a lot, but, a lot less complicated than it looks, not more. But, yeah, it looks like it has been beaten and liked. And as you can see, my controller has been randomly drifting a lot today. I am playing on a GameCube controller, and I have no idea why this is happening. It's just been happening a lot, and, pretty much nothing I can do about it. I've tried a few things, but I'll try some more stuff, but yeah, that's not me touching my controller, except to make it stop drifting, that is, but yeah. Now, let's go up, okay, or, yeah, that's the complete opposite direction, which is, very good. Let me try to go down. No, it doesn't want to go in the opposite direction, it just doesn't want to go up. Got it. Nope. But yeah, this stuff has been happening all day, so it's been a pretty fun experience, to say the least. Okay, yeah, I've only got like an hour to stream, which is why I'm doing all of this stuff on stream rather than off stream. So. And also to show that, yes, even GameCube controllers can drift. But yeah, let me try to just remove the batteries and put them back in. Because I'm pretty sure it's a connectivity issue. The batteries are not low, by the way. And sorry if my mic's been a bit odd, but the batteries are not low. The thing's not even flashing or anything. Yeah, they're just deciding that they don't want to work. So I'm gonna have to use my other controller, which is a little bit broken. Like not drift broken, but actually like snapped a bit. So just from improper storage is why it's broken like it is. But yeah, now I've got a new level that I've worked on that I can't beat, so let's go ahead and try to upload that. It is called The Climb, and I mean, you'll see how it works. I kind of didn't want to show how it works, but I cannot beat the level myself. So, let me just make sure I get a good spot for the thumbnail of the climb here, so upload. But yeah, you cannot touch the ground after jumping, basically. So, it's one of these types of levels. Could just make a no jumping level or something like that, but this is a bit more of a challenge, as you can see. And you also can't put checkpoints, it's kind of a problem, and it is a fairly long level. It's 250 seconds, so it's not exactly the longest level in the world or anything, but it's not a fun time, for sure. That's something that I can assure you. And now I've made it to the snow area, where the actual climb starts, and as you can see, there's a snake block. Snake block's pretty easy. I was originally going to make a blue, but I couldn't do the blue snake block, so gave up on that idea. This level is designed to be a bit harder, which is why I chose the new Super Mario World style. I was going to say new Super Mario World, so I was kind of close, but yeah. All of my harder levels are in the Super Mario World style. They just worked out that way. They weren't originally intended to be that way, but now I usually do it like that. Now this part is going to be the hardest part, for sure. Not this puzzle here, but the next part after it. And you'll see what I mean in a second, so let's go up here. So yeah, no, whew. I can't cross the bridge, basically, until I see that it's safe. But yeah, and then I fell. So, this level is fairly difficult. It's like, I know what to do, it's just I get way too nervous and then I overthink things, and that's why I keep failing this level. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if I can't beat this level on stream. I just have really struggled with it, and I don't really know why. Like, I mean, it's a hard level, but it's not to the point where it's, like, impossible or anything. Like, I think this level is easier than the Dark Manor. Maybe not Angry Suns, but definitely easier than Dark Manor. And some of my harder levels have not been made in the Super Mario World style, in case you're wondering. Like, let's see. Yeah, I guess Angry Suns wasn't Super Mario World, and then Go for Gold wasn't Super Mario World either. But I've been making a lot of puzzle levels recently. I want to do a one-screen puzzle level, but I keep having, like, way too many ideas for that. The one puzzle that I had that was where you use the Super Ball Flower thing from Super Mario Land. That was supposed to be a one-room puzzle level, but I ended up making it multiple one-room puzzle levels, kind of, in a way. That is very fun. I just kind of want to get down the timing on this, I guess. By the way, this bridge is not designed for you to make it across with the timer. Except on the end part. Like, this beginning part's not exactly designed with this timer in mind. This part is, but as you can see, it's still not too easy. Decides to shoot whenever I run across it. So yeah, very tight timing there. That's probably the hardest part, or the second hardest part, because there is kind of a difficult part afterwards involving chain chomps. But yeah, it's kind of hard to get that timing down if you're not paying attention. This level was not designed to be easy. Also, hold on 1 second, actually. I forgot to set the stream to 720. I mean, not 720, 480, which is what Super Mario World has to be played on. So sorry if it's been flashing. That's just something that happens if it does that. If it didn't do that, I'm still gonna turn it down just in case. I don't want to cause people to go blind or something like that. It starts flashing a bunch of colors, and sometimes it shakes depending on how many colors are flashing at once on the screen. So, and it's not supposed to do that, it's just something with my capture card unless I play in lower quality settings. Which for Super Mario World, it shouldn't really affect it that much because the game isn't exactly like a 1080p game. Or at least the original's not. I still need to finish it. I'm on World 3 now, I think. On the Game Boy Advance version. Because that's the only one that I have. But yeah, I want to get a Shellmet for the chain jump part. Just gonna wait on it to fire. I mean, the thing is, if I quick clear check, then I have to go back to... Okay, I basically did not want to quick clear check, is what I'm trying to say. I want to increase this to 300, so that way I don't have to think about the timer as well as the actual jump itself. The main problem is that I can't get to the balance board fast enough, this thing over here. So maybe if I extend it, because it has to be there, but I think I can extend it a bit more to make this a bit easier. That's probably what I have to do. Because, I mean, I want this to be difficult, but I don't want this to be the one thing that makes me unable to complete the level, because obviously I have to complete the levels. And I can't get past this part to save my life, so I kind of just give up. Yeah. This test has gone terribly, so let's just redo this from the top. Well, that's cool. That's the problem with doing it like this, is that you have to worry about this thing coming and shooting everything that spawns inside the pipe. Yeah, now that's impossible, so that's cool. How do I make this thing possible? Okay, let me just stand here on timing, like I normally do. Because I do want this level to be beatable, but as I said earlier, I also want it to be difficult and things like that, and I mean, the next part's still gonna be difficult. I just wanted this part to be difficult as well. But yeah, let me just go ahead and make myself have a star so that way I don't die to the swamp. But yeah, that would have been a fail, I'm pretty sure. That would have been a fail. So now I'm going too fast. Yeah, I shouldn't be able to go too fast. But if I do that, then I'm gonna be going too slow. Watch. Nope, that's actually perfect. Yeah, now I can't get up here, can I? So then I lower it down to here, and we're back to square one. Right. Let me see if this is back to square one all the way. I mean, why does he go faster than the shell is what I'm not understanding. Because there are like times where I just kind of fall down. Oh, thanks Silas for rating. It didn't notify me or anything, so I didn't notice, sorry. But yeah, I'm just working on the timings on this. But yeah, now I'm going too fast. But normally, like, the old problem I had was I had it this long and then I couldn't reach the end, so then I lowered it. And then earlier I had it the perfect distance. But yeah, then you just get to this part. I guess spoilers on how that's gonna work. Oh yeah, I'm Star Mario. Forgot about that. So now this should kind of work like it would in a regular run, except I have a shellmet early, kind of. Yeah, now I can't get to that side. So that's weird that I could earlier. Because I knew that it was going to be weird timings on this. Let me just go ahead and turn that back down to 4 like I had it. Because this is where I usually run into the problem with the timing is on this area. If I go like this, it like conflicts for some reason. Yeah, and then I messed up that. But yeah, usually that's off screen, the shell launcher there. And now this works. Yeah, I didn't make it up there. Let me see if I can actually make it up there without jumping though. Or is this impossible now, even though it worked a second ago? Yeah, it's just... It's really weird how this this inconsistent. Because sometimes I can get this to work perfectly, and then other times I can't. I guess with the shell mitt, it changes the weight of Mario. That could be the issue. So maybe you just can't get a shell mitt from here, you have to get it somewhere else. But I want to make it where this part has like a secret exit, where if you have a shell mitt, then you can get through this part easier. Because this part, you have to go underneath the chain jumps. And then it launches stars every once in a while, so you might even wait for a star to spawn. But you can also walk underneath the chain jumps to get to the exit a bit faster. Because there's only one star at a time. And then, yeah, you just have to get the right balance there. But yeah, I'm guessing I just have to throw the shell mitt, so that's what I'm going to try to do. Well, now I have this shell mitt on my head. How do you get rid of a shell mitt? I guess you just have to get hit. And I can't really get hit until a bit later. But yeah, normally this gun's off-screen, so that's why it's causing so many problems right now. But yeah, I'm just gonna try to do this with the gun off-screen, because that's causing a lot of issues. And then you just throw the shell mitt over there. I mean, you could throw the shell mitt up there and then allow yourself to move on this part properly, but yeah, then I went at a weird timing there because I thought it was blue. But yeah, this part is not designed for that to fire early, like it did. So I just have to restart. I thought I was standing at a good spot underneath the cannon, but I was a bit too far. Let's go ahead and restart that. At this point, I don't really care about having the clear condition like that, because I should still be able to see what I'm doing. But yeah, why did that fire when I was over? Like, I was kind of in the middle, but I think I was still on the side where that shouldn't have happened. But yeah, I'm just gonna jump up to here. And I need to throw this. So yeah, now that's possible, at least. I'm gonna actually set this to where I can attempt it for beating the level, so that way, if I do get this done properly, then I can just move on to the chain jump part. Well, I feel like the chain jump part's gonna end up being harder than this, although this one's taken the longest for me to design. I think it might be a bit easier. Kind of want to just like spin jump, but I know that if I spin jump, then it's gonna fail the level instantly. Because I can't touch the ground after leaving it. So you can jump, you just have to touch the flagpole after you jump, or like go into a pipe, I think. That would be interesting to test, because I haven't tested to see if that's actually how it works. just want to line up this. Yeah, I knew as soon as I touched the thing that I was going early, so I tried to stop myself, but it was too late. But yeah, at least I can make it back to there consistently, and I'm not dying up here. Because I'm going a bit too fast and getting impatient. Yeah, I think if the pipe is on a wall and you go into the pipe, then... I mean, I guess you have to touch the ground to enter a pipe, so I don't think that would work. Unless you could, like, spin jump on an enemy and get into a pipe and it count. Because you can spin jump and land on top of an enemy, but you just can't touch the ground. I guess because the enemies and the ground are two separate things in this game. But even, like, if an enemy's on the ground, so, like, if you had a Goomba up above Mario's head, and he jumped on top of that, and landed on another Goomba, like if it's just a row of them, then it still wouldn't fail the clear condition. So there's that, and then now shell timer, and then I went too fast. So yeah, you pretty much, like, I knew whenever the shell was about to go back, so that's why I went early, because you kind of can't be that early. I might even just have to remove this puzzle and try to think of something else for this, because this puzzle is probably the most complicated one that I've made due to the timing alone. Like, it's not that difficult of a thing to do to run to the other side. The problem is that I want to make it where the timing's really tight, and it's either, like, so tight that being early kills you, and then if I increase the length so that way you will have enough time if you go early, then being late kills you. So, like, right now I think it's probably at the perfect time. You just have to go at the same time as it. So I want it to be tight, but not to the point where it kind of is, but I think I can maybe work with that. Like, I wanted to have a bit of leniency. That's what I was trying to say. Yeah, that's weird. So you kind of have to go a bit later now. When earlier I made it through just fine. Like, it's mainly about positioning of Mario, I think, rather than the actual timing. So if you're on the right pixel on the block, then you make it across, and then if you're on the wrong pixel, then you don't make it across. Which I'd rather it just be tight timing rather than you have to stand at the right spot and everything. But yeah, died on the snake block. But yeah, I was just thinking about the next jump, so... Okay. Just have to wait for the platform to go to you. Because there is a few times where you can fall a bit, but that's not one of them. Like earlier I was able to get on that platform while it was moving down. Miss the swamp. Yep. Just kind of need to not lose focus on this area, I guess. Yeah, I was originally gonna make it seem like you kept going up, but then I realized that I had this bottom area be grass, so I couldn't really go with my original idea. So then I just made you go into this pipe and somehow you're in ice, so it doesn't make too much sense, but I guess you won't really notice unless you're paying attention to something like that. Because I like to have my levels themed somewhat to where it looks like you go near a mountain at the bottom and then you're actually on the mountain in the next pipe or something like that, is what I should have done, but instead I kind of just made you go to a pipe on a thin wall and then somehow you're at a mountain. Like in my Castlevania level, I have you actually enter the castle before you enter a castle area. Even though the castle is a bit small, because it's just made out of a few bricks, it still makes some sense. Yeah, I think I just felt. Yep. But yeah, the reset, I think, is the main killer on this. That makes it difficult as well. Because you just reset over and over again, and then you start to get impatient. That's what was happening earlier, so now I've kind of become a bit more patient, and I'm not dying on the snake block, I'm just dying on this bridge. But if you had checkpoints in this level, then it'd be 10 times easier. Because I would put a checkpoint after the snake block or something, and then you could just attempt the bridge over and over again. Like, I'd probably put it around where that POW is, so that way you wouldn't have to go on the snake block. Because a lot of the earlier things are a lot slower, just to get people used to, I guess, the puzzles and stuff. Like, you can't fall or anything, so if you die on the slower sections, it kind of builds you up for this part. But the problem with that is whenever you get used to the slower sections and you have them down perfectly, then they become really boring. And then you get stuck on a part, you have to go through the slower sections to reach the part that you're stuck on. Okay. I don't know why I went on that timing. I was used to the blue timing, I guess. Like, I'm looking at the actual blocks on the bridge, not the on-off switch. Which I think is probably what I should start looking at. And that might make that easier. Yeah, now I can just imagine a level where you have to go through. Actually, you know what, I've got a new idea for a level, but it's gonna be probably the hardest level that I'll ever make. If I do even make it, but it's just a level where the only obstacle is that bridge. And you can't jump or else you fail the level. That actually sounds like the worst idea for a level, like the most difficult, I guess. Because you have to pay attention to the timing, but you can also like mix up the timings and things like that along the bridge. So that way it's not something that's consistent where you can just run straight through. There are parts where you have to stop and actually think about what you're doing. And things like that. There are parts where there's like cannonballs going underneath you and you like jump on the cannonball and you live, but then you fail the level because you touched ground. And then you're also on a bridge that's alternating colors with different shell timings and different speeds and things like that. But yeah, that sounds not too complicated to make, but a very complicated level to play. And not a fun one. That's the Olimar of Mario Maker. Whoop. I was close, at least. Maybe I need to add some blue blocks over there. That could make it a bit easier. I just don't want the blocks to be in the way whenever you're trying to go up the balance board thing. But yeah, I accidentally set off that. But yeah, I've already spent an hour just trying to get past this bridge before, and then I edited it, and then basically did nothing whenever I was editing it a few moments ago. Because I just took it back to the original timing, because I know that I've made it past it, but I just have to get into the right positions. Like, if I'm pixel perfect, then it'll work out fine. And there's a few pixels of leniency, I'm assuming, but it's not much. Because I made the bridge earlier on stream, but... Yeah, by made it, I mean like made it to the other side, not actually created the level. I created this level like a week ago, and just started attempting it again today. Because I've had a lot of stuff to do, like I've been working on Smash Bros. Stuff, and then just stuff outside of streaming as well. But yeah, now I felt the level, so... Yeah, you could even have like different types of timers, but just make an entire level where you can only walk across the bridge. It's not like you can, or it wouldn't be that bad if you could jump across, but the fact that you would have to walk across it would be the part that would make that kind of a level difficult. And why this bridge part's a bit more difficult. Because if you could just jump across it, then if you fell on the ground in that bottom area, you could just jump and get back out. But I mean, if you touch the ground after falling off the bridge, that's where the problem is. And I wish that they just made it where you could set it to have no jumping at all. But instead they made it where you can't touch the ground after jumping. But I'm not even, like, jumping to fall on the... Or whenever I fall off the bridge, I'm just falling. But it considers that as well. But if they made it where if you hit A or whatever your jump button is, and then you touch the ground after you did that, this level would be 10 times easier. Or at least this part of the level, because I haven't even made the chain jumps yet. And that's a timing puzzle. But the more times that I make it to the bridge, the more attempts I get, and then that gets me closer to the attempt that actually makes it, so that's the good thing about this. Another issue I've had in the earlier sections is sometimes if I'm on the bridge, like the balanced bridge is underneath the swamp that you hit with the POW at the beginning, sometimes I can run across that fast enough to be able to get onto the pipe. I've had that happen a few times. But yeah, that first part, the threat of the swamp is that it will fall, and then if it falls, then it hits the board upwards, and that bounces Mario, and that's kind of the threat of that section. And so then I try to recreate it in the actual, like, mountain section, is what I call the part with all the snow. Like, this is just the ground section, that part's the mountain section. So this one, the swamp goes down, and the mountain section, the swamp goes sideways. So you have to hit it with the POW then, and it's kind of positioned differently. But it makes you think that it's just going to be the same kind of threat, and there's actually no way to stop it. But it actually goes forward, so you actually can use the balance with the swamp still active. Whereas in the other puzzle, the swamp has to be hit by the POW first and disappear. Or I guess, kinda just fall off screen. Or at least that's how I originally did it. I forgot that I had changed it to this, but yeah, initially that was a balanced beam, and then I changed that, I think, just to make it so you get to the bridge a bit easier if you fell on the bridge. Which is what I keep doing. Yeah, I got closer. I feel like if I put a blue block there, actually, that would just make this level easier. Because now I know where to put it, at least. So I'm thinking, okay, if I put a blue block, like, here, then you still have to worry about landing on the blue block, so it is somewhat difficult, but that'll make the timing on this a lot less tight. So, I think that will probably be for the best. Like, I've made it through there, but I'm pretty sure it's like a 1% chance to make it through there. So, I just don't want to keep sitting here for the next hour trying to get through the bridge and then die on the thwomp. Or not the thwomp, but the chain jump, so. That'll make it slightly easier, but I can actually complete the level that way. Could just put a secret exit or something, but I don't like those. I haven't put any in any of my levels. The closest thing would be the Submerged Labyrinth has like multiple exits, and one of them is easier to get to than the others, but the other ones are slightly faster. And only one person's completed that level. Like, I'll show my, I guess, creator ID at the end of the stream, since I forgot to show it at the beginning, but I did show one of my level IDs. I think it was the Submerged Labyrinth. I showed that ID, and then you get it from that. But I want to complete this first. So now I think I should get a lot closer. I'll have to learn the timing on the second blue block, or the second set of blue blocks, which is just one. But it should at least be possible to do this section now. Or at least realistic. Yeah, is that in the wrong spot? It is. Just like a pixel too close to the center there, so it won't actually move the balance. I was kind of worried that I had thrown it too close. Yep, fell a bit too far. There's a bit of leniency on where you can fall, like I'll show it here. There I went a bit early and fell onto the platform, but it still counted. But if you go where the platform's actually rising up to it, that works a lot better. You don't have to worry about the timing. The thing is, it always spawns going down. Like, I could change the timing on that to make it a bit faster, but I just don't want to mess with it in case I mess up the timing and make it even longer. I'd rather just be focusing on this bridge. Although, I died on the snake blocks there. Because it goes up one, then you might move forward a bit too fast like I did, expecting it to go up multiple blocks, but the first one's the only one that goes up multiple blocks. You pretty much have to stay right on the edge of the snake block, though, if you want to... Yeah, see, I've had this happen a few times, but it's been a while since I've had that happen. But that does instantly kill you if you do get stuck up there. Yeah, then you have to wait on this block to... Or you have to wait on the platform to go back down to get the POW block. Or not back down, but back up, or else you get dragged up again and then you have to wait on the elevator. That's another thing that I like about doing it like that, is that it can make people who are impatient with the POW block have to go back up, and then they've actually caused themselves to have to wait a bit longer. And then they could get stuck back up on the platform on the left because they're a bit too close to the edge, and then try to get back on the block and then fail the level and then have to restart it. That'd be like the worst ending out of a scenario like that. Forgot that that was not as short as I thought it was. I would say it's like half a block is the distance that you can fall and still touch the ground and it not invalidate the clear condition on the level. But that's about like 3/4 of a block, I think. The track, how far it goes up. But yeah, that track actually pulls you like on top of a semi-solid platform, so then you can actually just kind of stay on top of it, and you won't have to worry about the timing of getting off. But I wanted to get off a bit faster, which is why I failed the level. But yeah, as you can see, like, I don't have to touch anything and then it'll take me to where I want to go. Yeah, that's a bit at the ledge there, but it should still work. I've never had myself gone too fast on this balance board and then ended up failing the level due to falling too high, which is really nice. Yeah, now I'm back here, so... I stopped a bit... Like, I stopped holding B a bit too early there to make it across. Because I didn't want to go too fast and then go over it and then have to turn around and get stuck in the turnaround animation and then not have enough frames to be able to get to the block. So yeah, at least this part of the run is still complicated on the bridge, the first gap. But the next gap's gotta be a lot less complicated. Although, you can still die if you're not careful on it. Yeah, if you're not on, like, the edge of the snake block, and it goes a bit too high, then Mario can't jump, so then you kind of just fail a level due to that. So that's why I like to have snake blocks in levels where you can't jump. Because you can mix up how they move. Although I have done a level where... Like, the first level I made in the game was a level about snake blocks. And because I didn't own, like, the Wii U or 3DS version, that's technically the first Mario Maker level that I made, was the level about snake blocks. Like, that was the entire gimmick of the level. The entire gimmick of this level, I think, is weight. I made it past the problem portion, but then I realized that the next part of this, like, run is the exact same thing, so I just have to do the same thing twice in a row. So you have to make a 4-block run, basically, twice in a row within the amount of time. So I think it's about 1 second in-game on the time. Which I think in this game, it's actually 1 second is 1 second in the game. I know in, like, previous Mario games, the 1 second was a bit off. Like, sometimes it was a bit too fast. Although I think 300 seconds in this game is actually 300 seconds. But the good thing about this level is the fact that it has a clear condition. I can't put any checkpoints. So I only have to clear it once to be able to upload it, and then I can just never play it again. Which might be the plan. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I put something after the chain chomp, so that way you can touch the goal. But it's really easy to finish a level, at least. But yeah, I kind of wish there's a way to trigger the shell timer off screen. So that way, I wouldn't have to worry about the shells launching while I'm trying to cross the bridge, and then could just kind of make the shells launch, like, whenever I get here. But I can kind of do that if I just wait. Don't know why it went whenever the timing was the exact opposite of what I needed, but... I mean, like, even if I turned that into a 3-block gap, that would make it easier. But the thing is, I can make it across a 4-block gap, and I've already toned down the difficulty of the bridge so much I don't really want to tone it down again. And by tone it down, I mean I added 1 block so that way you can make it across a bit easier. Yeah, the way that it was originally supposed to work was that Mario was supposed to run across the 4 blocks, and then he would have enough momentum to actually be able to reach the... Or I think he could travel 6 blocks with full momentum before the shell timer made him fall onto the platform, and then he could just use the balance beam to get up. But I've had a lot of inconsistencies on just making it across the 4 blocks. And then there's also the whole fact with the shelmet. Like, I made it up here a few times wearing a shelmet, and that messes up the timing on the balance. Okay, I think I've done it. Okay, now the hard part. It's closing out this level. Yeah, the chain chomps are complete RNG. So, yep. I thought I was a bit earlier than I actually was on that run. Like, I knew whenever the star needed to be there, but you basically have to get the star to make it through there, or else you deal with an inconsistent path. Because the path's going to change because the chain chomps will hit themselves. But at least I made it across the bridge. So that's the first step toward beating this level, I guess, is making it across the bridge. And now that I think about it, I haven't actually tested the chain chomp part to see if it's possible to get through that. So I could be working on an incomplete level and then just get stuck on the chain chomps every, like, 100 tries that I make it across the bridge. And not realize that you can't actually make it across the chain chomps. I think I did make sure it was possible to get through the chain chomps, but I'm not entirely sure. So I'll have to see. But I think it would be possible. You just have to wait and be patient. Because the chain chomp on the right, it's just going to stay by itself. And then there will be 3 chain chomps on the left. And the star will just keep bouncing, because I don't think the star will actually disappear. I don't think it has a time before it, like, despawns or whatever. I have extra POW blocks in case you missed the first POW block. I originally was going to make that where you had to use the POW block as a weight, and then you could use the POW block to make the path, kind of, but I added in the Thwomp as kind of like a threat, and that made it a bit too difficult. I was also going to try something where a Thwomp bounced you up, and you were supposed to get on top of a POW block, and then you could use that to get onto a semi-solid platform, and then you wouldn't actually leave the ground because you'd be on the POW block. But the game actually, like, lifts you up slightly above the POW block if you're on top of it, and you get hit by the balance or from the chain chomp, or not chain chomp, but the Thwomp running into it. So basically what would happen was the Thwomp would bounce the board, and then you would be on top of a POW block, and then just ride that onto a semi-solid platform. To where you actually landed on top of it, the POW block didn't go through it, so that way you could get off the POW block. But I just couldn't get the timing right for that. It's a bit too fast on slowing down my momentum to make sure I didn't go over it. The thing is, I don't think I actually can go over that. I'm just afraid that I can. I gotta see if you can actually run past that blue section. Like, I've done it before, but that was, like, really early. But now I keep getting the timing a lot later. But yeah, Mario has a lot of pixels where he can still be on a block. Like, he pretty much only has to be on a block for, like, 1 or 2 pixels, I think. So that's why I keep talking about, like, early and late timings. But really, it's just based off of spacing. Like, there's a bit of timing involved, but the main thing is, like, are you on the right pixels or not for the bridge? Because if you're on the wrong pixels, then... Like, there's certain pixels where you can stand and the timing's a lot more lenient, I guess, and then there are other pixels where the timing's a lot less lenient. So timing is involved somewhat, but the pixels are the difference between life and death. Yeah, I made it across the bridge a second time. That's like 30 attempts faster or something. Well, got close. I didn't mean to quit clear check, but go through here. It's not like it's gonna take me that long to do this, so I don't mind it too much. Or you know what, I'm just gonna tone down the difficulty of this thing, because I'm kinda tired of attempting it. Okay, let's just make this a 3 block, 3 block, 3 block, 3 block. That way the timing's a lot less strict. I have a lot of time to be able to position myself into a proper position. And now I can just focus on the chain jumps at least, rather than the bridge. Like, I'm probably gonna fail the bridge to this attempt, but the next attempt I should have it, because of the new timings. I wonder if landing on a P-block counts, or, yeah, P-block counts as landing on the ground. And not, like, landing on a P-block that's on the ground and then crushing it, because obviously that counts, but landing on, like, a falling P-block. Because I might try to do a level where you can't touch the ground, but you're constantly bouncing, and you enter a pipe using a P-block. Because I feel like landing on a POW would count, but I'm not sure if the ground of a P-block is on the part where you crush it, or the part where it's crushed and then you touch the ground. Shoot it? Okay, there we go. But yeah, as you can see, I'm still gonna mess up the timing, but it's at least a bit nicer timing. But now I have to make 3 3-pass instead of 2 2-pass. Or 2 4-pass. So there's a bit of timing that's going to have to happen. Like, it's all going to be based off of timing now, I guess. Instead of based off of the actual pixels of where you're standing. So at least it's just that. Only one variable now instead of 2. Yeah, I can still mess up that if I'm not careful. But yeah, I've only got like 7 minutes left to stream, because I only can stream for like an hour, because I'm gonna run out of time, but I'll try to stream a bit longer than that. I've got a bit more stuff to do tonight, and then I can stream tomorrow. Hopefully a bit earlier than I was able to tonight, but it might be around the same time. And if I don't finish level tonight, then I'll work on that tomorrow, but if I do finish that tonight, I'll probably play Breath of the Wild or something, since I've been playing that on stream. I also need to play more Hollow Knight, and I wanted to play that yesterday, but I got busy. So then I ended up playing Smash for 2 hours longer than I had intended to. I was originally going to play Smash for an hour since my luck in Smash hasn't been that great. Like with random and everything, since I've been playing a lot of random, I've been getting characters that I don't really like that much. made it across the bridge. I knew that was about to happen. There's no way to prevent it, though. I have to go all the way back on the balance beam. Like, I'm trying to go a bit too fast, but if you go a bit too fast, then that messes that up. Because the balance beam is pretty much a perfect length. It's not like this one, where there's a lot of time where you can just kind of run towards it, or sit in the middle, and then run to the other side. With this one, you actually have to be on the right spot. It's not as tight as the bridge timing or anything, but... Let's see. So now I've got to get through the snake blocks. But yeah, in case you're wondering, also my luck with the Hero and Game & Watch has not been that well fighting against them. Last time I fought Game & Watch I got 9 twice, and then I just jumped off the side at that point. And then with Hero, haven't been killed by Thwack yet. No, I think I have been killed by Thwack once. But it was at a reasonable percent, it was at like 140 or something like that, so I can understand Thwack killing because other moves like a forward smash would kill and they have about the same timing. Things like that. Or at least if we're talking about like Roy and Chrome's forward smash, and Thwack would actually be like a bit slower. But, with just other moves that I don't like Magic Burst, been seeing that move a lot more than I like. But yep, didn't make it across the bridge there. But yeah, I've probably done like about the same amount of attempts off stream as on stream, so it's taken me a while to get this level done. It's definitely been the longest level that I've had just completed, but just unable to upload due to it being so difficult. So this could be potentially more difficult than Dark Matter, but I keep getting stupid deaths like that a lot as well, where it's just me being impatient. But yeah, I think the next level I make will be an easy level. Because I don't like to make only hard levels. I know that there are a lot of people that like to play hard levels and they pretty much just make like Kaizo levels all the time and things like that, but I kind of like to mix up the levels that I make. Like, I make a lot of puzzle levels, I plan on making like speedrun levels. I want to try to make one of like every type and every difficulty and everything. Which I've done every difficulty, I think, but I haven't done every type. Like, I haven't done a music level. I've done puzzle levels. I haven't done, like, one where you do a spot the difference level. I've seen that happen a lot. I haven't done a level based entirely around sliding or anything. I haven't done a level in 3D World based on some of the newer mechanics, except, like, the Thwomp riding. I did do a level based on that. I think that's probably closest that I've gotten to making a level in 3D World that's based on a new mechanic, though. But I can't remember what other level I made in 3D World, because I'm pretty sure there have been 2 that I've made in 3D World. But yeah, I've tried to avoid using the Super Mario World style, because I know that a lot of levels get made in that style. So, that's been another thing. And like 3D World, that's why I don't have too many 3D World and Super Mario World style levels, is because those are like the 2 most common level types. Maybe Super Mario Bros. 1 as well could fit into that, but like Super Mario World is always like the more difficult levels. People will use that design due to like Kaizo levels, things like that. And then in 3D World, that's the newest style, so obviously people are going to make levels based on that. So I try to make a lot of like new Super Mario Brothers and Super Mario Brothers 3 style, since those ones probably go underused compared to the other ones. But yeah, I think it might be cool to try to do a maintain P-speed level where you have to like race against something, and then if you lose P-speed at all from gaining it, then you fail the level because you're too slow. And P-speed is lost basically by being like on the ground. I think it's how it works, isn't it? Like if you're on the ground for or no, you get P-speed faster by staying on the ground, and then you lose P-speed just by slowing down. So I'll have to think of something for that. But just a level where you basically just run throughout the entire level, and if you slow down at all, then you fail it. But with P-speed, so it's at least somewhat interesting, because there's some on-screen mechanic telling you how fast you're going. The level sounds annoying, but I'm probably going to make it a lot easier than I think that I'm going to make it, so it shouldn't be anything too bad. It's not going to be anything like this level, for sure. Or at least I hope not. But yeah, my problem with other level designs is I plan on making a music level, but I don't know what song I'm going to do. It's been a while since I failed the puzzle like that, so at least it's a unique failure instead of something that I keep messing up on, like the bridge, because those are always more frustrating. But, yeah, I can't really decide what song to do. I think I'm gonna do a Hollow Knight song or something. But I might change that, because I was originally gonna do Calm from Minecraft or something, because I know that's a pretty popular game at the moment. Although it's been a while since I played the game. I actually stopped playing the game kind of whenever it started to pick back up. Because I was playing it whenever I first got my Switch, until about the time that Ultimate came out. I was still playing it some, but I kind of was playing Ultimate at the same time and trying to improve at that, so I just kind of didn't have enough time to play it. And here recently, I made like a new world, a bit after Ultimate came out, so that way I could get into the game again and stuff, but now I've already like made a bunch of redstone stuff in that world and done a lot of stuff, but yeah, I failed because I've got the Shellman on, and I don't know how to take that off without getting myself damaged, and to get myself damaged there has to be an enemy that I can walk towards, and I've already killed the Thwomp, so it's pretty much impossible to do that, because I can't get up the balance beam with the Shellman on. That gets you to where the chain chomps are. But yeah, I've done like a ton of redstone stuff on that world. I have defeated the Ender Dragon and stuff like that. I didn't defeat the Wither. I actually haven't fought the Wither in Minecraft yet. Just because I have all the skulls and everything for it, I just haven't set up an arena for it or anything. Which you just go to the Nether to fight that, I'm pretty sure, but I just haven't done it yet. But yeah, like, I think the next attempt's probably gonna be my last one. Unless I make it through this, in which case, then I'll be done, but I'm kind of out of time, so I think I'll just call the stream there. But yeah, I'm pretty sure you just go to the Nether to fight the Wither. At least that's the one that results in you not destroying your house. But yeah, next attempt, it's last attempt. I didn't mean to die like that to speed this up or anything, but yeah, I'm not gonna count that. In case you're wondering. I'm gonna do the next attempt that I actually make it to the bridge. So if I die on the snake block again, or if I die to the Shellman, then I'll restart, but if I die on the same part on the bridge that I've died on about 70,000 other times, then I'll call it quits there. And just have to work on this in a separate stream where I have more time. But yeah, I kind of put off some stuff to stream yesterday, even though I streamed, actually, never mind on that thought, but yeah, let me just restart this again, because because I died on Snake Block. But yeah, I kind of procrastinated a bit of stuff, and that's why I had to stream a bit later. But because of that, I'm going to do Mario Maker tomorrow as well. I do this on Sundays because I do like a Mario Maker Monday video on YouTube, and it releases tomorrow, so I always stream it on Sunday just to get ahead, but looks like I will actually be doing one on Monday as well. And I'm hoping I don't have too much stuff to do, and then I can just work on this level the entire time. But I thought I could get this level done within like the first 30 minutes, and then have time to look at other levels. Or get it done within the first 30 minutes, and then play Breath of the Wild for 30 minutes, and then have an upload for Tuesday as well, and then maybe just mess around in certain games and not upload them to YouTube or anything. But I like to have, not like unique games in a row, but unique ideas in a row, where I don't just do the same thing over and over again. But yeah, haven't died on the bridge yet, but this attempt is my last attempt, so pretty much no matter where I die, since I am out of time. So I'm gonna try to focus, so I'm not gonna talk from this point forward, so that way I can focus. I almost died on the pipe. Wonder why I didn't kick that time. But yeah, I'm gonna try to stand towards the edge of this. That's like the perfect spot for that to go. Let me throw that. Wait. Okay, we're here. That would have been the perfect time. Just gotta wait for another timing like that. We're done. That's the level. I just needed to be quiet and focus. But yeah, that's it. That was a very long hour and 8 minutes. Here, let me think of something good to say here. There, I think that's a... No, I'm not gonna do that description, but yeah, yeah, I'm just gonna do Mario climbs up a hill, but can't jump. Or a mountain, but can't jump, because the hill's not that impressive. Here. And then I forgot to put a period, but I don't really care. Themed and puzzle solving. That'll make sense. Because I did try to do a theme of a mountain, but it didn't really work well at the intro section. But yeah, last attempt was the one that did it. There's the ID. If you want to play this level, I would strongly recommend that you don't play this level, but you can if you want. Actually, it'll probably be beaten on someone's first attempt, and then I'll just look very bad at the game, which I'm not claiming to be great at the game. But, yeah. Wait, why did I go to story mode? I meant to go to Quartz World. Just to show my creator ID. If anyone wants to play some of my other levels. There's the ID, there at the middle left area. My recommended level, it's a kind of difficult level, but it's probably my favorite level that I've made so far, would be the Dark Manor. It's not too difficult, to the point where I would say it's the last level I just made, but it's definitely not an easy level. It's an auto-scroller in the dark, where you do have a few jumps where you can't see the other side, but they're like the perfect length. So if you just run and then jump at the end of the block, then you should make it perfectly fine. There's one where there's like a spiny that you have to dodge, but you have enough time to wait. Like, I was able to beat the level, and it's not as difficult as this level, I assure you. The climb is not as difficult as that, so I would recommend that you try that level. And then, I guess if you want to see the ID for it, there's the ID, because I did forget to mention that I do have the ID on screen. But yeah, it's only been cleared by one other person, but it's not too bad. I beat it on stream a few times, so it's not like this level where I've only beat it on stream once. So, yeah, that is going to be it for this stream. I'm just going to call it here since I am a bit over time. In tomorrow's stream, we're going to be playing Breath of the Wild. So, yeah, I guess I'll see everyone then.